cute. Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest is known for her performances in front of the camera and her roles behind it. But her latest project finds her tackling something new as an author. Here to share her debut novel, The Light Runner, we welcome Allie Walker. Hi, Allie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We were just bonding over astrology, but we'll get to the more important things right now, which is your debut novel. And I understand, because I watched your GMA interview, that it took you 10 years to write it, and you didn't even tell your 3 sons or your husband, and they were shocked when you told them you had written a novel.
Well, you know, they were busy. I was going to sports with them, and it just didn't seem like an appropriate time to bring it up. No, I had written it 10 years ago in 2015 as a pilot with a couple of episodes. And then I pitched it to the platforms here, you know, Apple, everybody. And nobody seemed interested. And so I, not to be deterred, I just decided, well, you know, I read, I love books. I think I'll write it as a book. And because I was really sort of scared of doing it, I just didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want that pressure. Like this way it would be like, if it didn't work out, if I didn't finish it, you know, because there's a lot of, it's a long time, you know.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about the plot of the book. It's called a on your edge of the seat metaphysical thriller.
Yeah, it is. It basically deals with a young psychiatrist just out of her residency who has a high-profile patient whose wife has been murdered, and he checks himself in. He's so distraught into the psychiatric facility, and she's treating him. And soon, you know, as she kind of unwinds his story, she feels she's had trauma in her own past, but she starts to feel her life unravel. And then all of the patients begin to tell her bits and pieces of what happened and why the crime isn't exactly what she thought and what's going on in the world, and explaining how reality is what you choose to see, which frequency you're on, basically.
Right.
And so it's this whole heady trip. And it's about empathy and sort of man's need to hang on to his humanity, basically. So it's a really heavy but really like quick, fun, curious way to do things, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if that's a good seller or not. I'm never very good at this stuff.
No, you're great. Yeah, no, and it's about trusting your intuition too, because the young psychiatrist had to trust her gut.
Exactly. She didn't believe everything, and she didn't want to treat it the same way, and she kept trusting her gut. And so it really taught her that, you know, what you feel is right. Just stick with your gut feelings. And what are those gut feelings, you know?
Yeah.
You got to read it because it gets into time and how the gut feelings are actually your own voice calling back to you from the future or from a different point in time.
I love things like that.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Yeah. And all the patients are, you know, people who have disabilities or quote unquote disabilities, and you know they're either schizophrenics or, you know, they have multiple personalities, but it's presented in the book that they have superpowers. Those are their
like that.
superpowers. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and you're writing the second book in this series.
Yes,
already.
I am. I'm doing a romantic comedy just to lighten things up a little bit because I wrote that a long time ago, and I was like, you know, I'm going to do that again. So I'm finishing that, and then I've got parts of the second one in the series, in the reality series, done now. So,
how many in the series? Do you know? Is it just going to keep going? Okay.
It's going to be 3. So
a trilogy. Yeah. So are you now an author? It sounds like this is what you're doing all the time now.
Well, you know, as you get older as an actress, the parts are fewer and further, you know, and it's like and I just started going, you know, I rewrite scripts all the time. I've written scripts. You know, I kind of fix scripts with people if they need my help. And I just decided, you know, I read a lot of books. I love books. I'm gonna see if I can write a book, and if I can do that. It's really fun. You get to get lost in your own world all day. I mean, it's hard as hell, believe me.
Oh,
but it's really fun
when it's
going.
Yeah. Well, you're a Virgo, so your attention to detail is spot on, I'm sure. I found a very interesting connection between your life and my life. So this is so cool though, and probably only to me, so I apologize to our viewers.
No, I'm psyched.
Okay, so you grew up in Santa Fe, right? And your dad was a scientist, right?
Yeah, he was a nuclear physicist.
Yeah.
Well, he was a physicist, but he worked in nuclear detection.
And you wanted to be a biochemist?
I was a biochemist.
Oh, you were a biochemist. And then, okay, so I thought what happened was then you went and studied abroad in London at Richmond American International University, And then
Yeah.
fell in love with the performing arts.
I did, but my parents were like, no, not gonna, not gonna do that.
So that's where you got your bug, but then you became a scientist, and then you became, okay.
I got my degree, and then I went back to acting. Yeah.
Okay, so the connection
wait,
is
no, wait,
my
yeah.
oldest daughter got her degree from Richmond American International University in London.
Wow, I don't know anybody who knows that school.
Exactly.
Wow.
No one ever knows that school when I say it.
I'm making it up. I'm like, no, it's really there. Yeah, I have the address.
Yay! We both know.
That's amazing. What's she doing? Is she acting?
No, she's not acting. She's doing like the content creator thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's a whole new like genre of life. I can't.
Yeah.
Social media and all that's crazy.
Yeah,
man. It's
yeah.
like,
Now, I have to say, I loved you in While You Were Sleeping, playing sort of the villain part.
Ashley Bartlett.
Was that fun for you?
I loved it. I love that movie. That's, that whole spirit of movie is just wonderful because it's lighthearted fare and it's fun. And Sandra, look, there's Peter. Oh my God, everybody was so good.
Such
Bill
good
Pullman,
people, yes.
Gallagher, just great actors. And Chicago, which I love Chicago.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful time, It was a wonderful time.
Yeah, I feel like that's a classic movie too.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things that, everybody knows and everybody tends to love. And I mean, it really launched Sandy Bullock. So she became huge after that. And rightfully so. She's wonderful in it as Lucy.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to do that. And I love that movie.
Yeah. Okay. And then also we love dogs here at AM Northwest, and we found a dog. We found a picture of you with your sweet little Olive.
That's Olive.
Is she a lab?
No, she's my, I have two English bulldogs. One is Olive and the other is Bessie.
Oh.
And they're pretty fierce, but they're super sweet with me. I think they're the best dogs ever. I mean, English bulldogs have such personalities. I had no idea. They do nothing they don't want to do. They don't walk if they don't want to walk. They don't listen to a word I say, but I love them.
Oh, I would love them too. Oh my gosh. It's been so fun talking with you, Allie.
So nice talking to you too. It must be because you're a Virgo.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, Allie's book again is Light Runner. Look for 2 more coming from her and a romantic comedy. So there's a lot on the horizon. And we will be right back with more AM Northwest. Stay with us. Thanks, Allie.
Thank you so much.